Ladies and gentlemen, I am starting to really enjoy the white bread American history. But this is not the kind that I learned in my school. Maybe if I had, I would have really enjoyed the class a lot more. But I'm going to enjoy the hell out of it now. You can best believe I am. And I'm going to have you all enjoy it with me. Mail that baby. A brief history of kids sent through the U.S. Postal Service. These high IQ people never cease to amaze me. Every time I think they come up with some crazy shit, they always end up topping themselves. Let's get into the story. Decades before the first unaccompanied child was put on a plane to grandma's in the care of a flight attendant, a few resourceful parents accomplish the same end by simply dropping their kids in the mail. This was in the earliest days of the Parcel Post Service, which launched in 1913. Before that, the U.S. Postal Services were capped with £4, which limited the goofy things people tried to send by post. But when the Parcel Service began, all kinds of cargo showed up in the mail stream, including coffins, eggs, dogs, and in a few cases, human young. And as you can see, this postal worker holding this very ugly, big-headed baby was being mailed by his parents. Okay, getting back to the story. You know, those IQs were high back then, ladies and gentlemen. You just gotta take this stuff seriously. Okay, so back to the history. According to the National Postal Museum historian Nancy Pope, the first known case of a mailed baby. I'm gonna get through this, y'all. Was in 1913 when Mr. and Mrs. Jeffrey Booge of Glen Estee, Ohio, shipped their 10-pound infant son to his grandmother's house about a mile away. A mile is not that far to walk. They didn't want to walk or drive the baby there. They wanted to put the baby in the mail. The high IQ mind is amazing, ladies and gentlemen. It's amazing. Paying 15 cents in postage and springing for $50 in insurance because there were worries, just in case the baby got lost in the mail, they would get $50. That made up for everything. Records do not indicate whether grandmother Boge, I guess that's Boge, received her mail in a mailbox or through a letter slot. I don't think that big-headed baby can make it through. I don't know. They probably just had to sit that thing on the porch. Okay, moving on. But some children were mailed much further, Pope said. Edna Neff of Edna Neff of Pensacola, Florida, was 6 when she was packed off or packaged off to her father's home in Christiansburg, Virginia, 720 miles away. The high IQ mind just will never let you down. The precious partials weren't truly partials in the brown paper and bubble wrap sense. So they put their children in brown paper and bubble wrap. Instead, they were more like companions, well swaddled bundles in the arms of their carriers. They weren't boxed up, Pope said. They were carried or walked along the route. But the most famous male child was Mary Pierstroff. This is Mary. Her parents threw her ass in the mail. Okay, let's get back to the story. May Pierstroff was indeed sent by an Idaho Railway mail car in 1914 with the appropriate stamps stuck to her travel coat. Her adventure made it into a children's book, Mailing May, with postage stamps. The high IQ mind will blow you away, ladies and gentlemen. May's picture survived, but no physical evidence of her trip. Okay, so she was mailed in Idaho to go to nearby relatives. She was mailed. In 1914, the Postmaster General instituted a rule about the mail that stands to this day. No humans. You mean to tell me you didn't want to clean up all that piss and shit along the way? What's wrong with the post office? But that didn't stop an ambitious theft from crating himself up and shipping himself airmail. When William DeLucia packed in a trunk labeled musical instruments along with food and an oxygen tank was airborne, he climbed out, pilfered thousands of dollars worth of goods from the registered mail and sealed himself back up. He was arrested at the Atlanta airport in 1980 after his trunk popped open as it was being unloaded. Damn, he got busted. We have his oxygen tank at the Postal Museum, Pope noted with pride. Yeah, y'all can take pride in this shit all you want. This is dumb as hell. William DeLucia. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna look this nut job up who mailed himself. I'll be right back. All right, here is the musical instrument box that this guy shipped himself in 1980. They said this is in the Smithsonian Institute now. This is the nut job, and this is his oxygen tank right here. His oxygen tank. Nothing but high IQ, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing but high IQ. Mm-mm-mm. This history is so funny. You gotta tell it because it's coming from the high IQ ones. You can't go wrong. And I see a story on the side about Hefner. I didn't do a video on him because, I mean, what was he other than a pimp? I'm serious. He was just a pimp. America's favorite pimp died. What more do you need to say? Please leave your comment and subscribe. And if you can make a donation to my channel, please do. Keep enjoying this great white bread American history, y'all. Peace.